Page 145 is where we're going to start today. Page 145 in grammar. 145. Okay. This is a review page. Fix my camera here. And you're reviewing different sentence openers. There's just two that you guys know about right now. There's more that you will learn, but these are the two we're working on now. And a sentence opener is a descriptive word, phrase, or clause that is added to the beginning of a sentence. Using different types of sentence openers makes writing more interesting. And that's what we do. Is in our writing part of the class with the binder, we're starting to, or maybe we haven't started yet. Have we? We have prepositional, I think. Let me check, just see what's on your checklist. Oh yeah, we have three openers now. We have prepositional, ly adverb, and VSS. That's the newest one. So they just really help your writing sound better, and it's way, way, way more interesting to read. That's why we do that. And we're going to do a practice here on this page. It says add prepositional phrase openers and ly adverb openers to make these paragraphs more interesting to read. Use your own words or words in the margin. So I'm going to read it first without any of those openers, and then we're going to add openers, and then we'll read it again, and it'll sound so much better. So without it, it just says, the vegetables and fruit fill the garden. Bunnies visit the lettuce and cabbage heads. Chipmunks nibble on the corn, peas, and beans. A goose has laid 7 eggs. They will soon hatch, and the garden will be filled with baby birds. Is a scarecrow. He stands 6 feet in the air. Straw sticks out of his arms and legs. Birds nap on his shoulders and sit on his head. Mice like Johnny and Timmy scamper up his pant legs. The garden is a delightful place. So that's how it sounds like without the openers. And now let's like make it really good with the openers. The first one is going to be a prepositional opener. And notice on the margin here, you've got some choices. Right here it says prepositions. Beside, by, in, near, and with. And then here we've got our adverb openers. Certainly, generally, occasionally, proudly, surprisingly, usually. So what they're saying is you can use one of these on the list if you want, but if you think of your own that's not on the list, that's okay too. So what we'll do is take turns, okay? So I'm going to have Lacey start. The first one is going to be one of the prepositions. And notice that you're going to need more than just the preposition. So that's why they have those little dots there. Like you'll have to add words to that too. But what's a way to start that first sentence? The vegetables and fruit fill the garden. Which one of these prepositions could you use plus other words? What do you think, Lacey?
With the vegetables and fruit of the garden.
With is a good preposition, but you need more with it. So like um with, I don't know if that's a good one. What about in? That would be better. Like, what type of season do we usually grow a garden? Is it like winter, fall, summer, spring? When do we start growing a garden? You don't
Berries and
know? Spring and summer usually are the 2 months that we grow stuff. So what if you said in spring or in summer? Which one do you like better?
spring.
In spring. Okay, good. So let's put that to start us off. The prepositions are a little bit harder to do than the other ones, so that's okay. You got this. So let's put in, and then I'm going to capitalize spring because it's the name of the season. Let me lighten this up a little bit here. All right. In spring, the vegetables and fruit fill the garden. And the next one's for William. This one's going to be an ly adverb. So it just says bunnies visit the lettuce and cabbage heads. Then we have a blank. So I need you to think of an ly adverb, somethingly chipmunks nibble on corn, peas, and beans. What do you think, William?
Occasionally.
I like it. Occasionally. And that's one of the words over here, so you can copy it there. And by the way, if you want to put a different one, you guys can pick different ones too. It doesn't have to be just like this one. And then back to Lacey, another preposition opener. Blank, a goose has laid 7 eggs. So think about like where she might have laid her eggs. By the bush, by the tree, by the wheelbarrow in the garden, or somewhere like that. What do you think? Or beside something,
Mm,
near something, near the
in the garden.
in the garden. That would work. Good. In the garden. Very good. This one is for you. Or it goes on to say they will soon hatch and the garden will be filled with baby birds. That's exciting. And then this one's for William. Blank is a scarecrow. So this is going to be a preposition opener again. So you'll have to add words to it. So in the something or beside the something is a scarecrow. What do you think?
By the hay.
By the hay. I like it. By the hay, because maybe they have animals there in the garden too. And then Lacey, an ly word here, something Lee, he stands 6 feet in the air.
Surprisingly, he stands 6 feet in the air.
I like it. Surprisingly good. Surprisingly, he stands 6 feet in the air. Straw sticks out of his arms and legs. The next one is going to be another prepositional phrase for you, William. So, where are the birds napping? Or no, not where. Maybe think of like what time of day? In the morning, in the afternoon. Birds nap on his shoulders and sit on his head. What do you
In
think?
the evening.
In the evening, okay. In the evening. Good. Birds nap on his shoulders and sit on his head. Blank mice. This is ly for you, Lacey. Blank somethingly mice like Johnny and Timmy scamper up his pant legs. Bless you. What ly word would work there? Somethingly mice like Johnny and Timmy scamper up his pant leg. Maybe like usually or um quickly. It could be one that's not even on the list. You could do quickly or slowly or something like that.
Quietly.
Oh, quietly. There you go. That's a good one. And we're going to do a capital because that's the beginning of that sentence. Quietly, mice like Johnny and Timmy scamper up his pant legs. Blank the garden. This is another ly for you, William. Blank somethingly the garden is a delightful place. You can use one of those words there with the ly, or you can think of your own.
Probably.
Probably? Is that what you said? Or proudly?
Proudly.
Proudly? Yeah, except for that's more like talking about a person. And we're talking about the garden here, so it might be better to use something like certainly the garden is a delightful place. Do you like that one? Okay, let's put certainly then. That means like for sure. Now listen to it. This is cool. You heard it the first time. Now listen to it with all these openers. In spring, the vegetables and fruit fill the garden. Bunnies visit the lettuce and cabbage heads. Occasionally, chipmunks nibble on the corn, peas, and beans. In the garden, a goose has laid 7 eggs. They will soon hatch, and the garden will be filled with baby birds. By the hay is a scarecrow. Surprisingly, he stands 6 feet in the air. Straw sticks out of his arms and legs. In the evening, birds nap on his shoulders and sit on his head. Quietly, mice like Johnny and Timmy scamper up his pant legs. Certainly, the garden is a delightful place. Wow. See how that changed that? Now it's like really good. So that's why we use these, and this was a good practice for us. So good job, you guys. Let's go on to the actual practice page. And I'm going to have Lacey, when you're ready, go ahead and read that one.
Johnny replied that they had which
That word's prompted.
prompted his visit to the tree.
Okay, good. Prompted. Good. So prompted just means like um moved into action. Like you're motivated to do action. You're prompted. Like if it's raining outside, you're going to be prompted to grab an umbrella because you see that it's going to be wet. So you're going to need an umbrella. So prompted is moved into action like that. Turn this light off there we go. It's a little better. Okay, there is, so check vocabulary. There's one article. Go ahead and find that by yourself. And then William, 4 nouns.
Country.
Good.
Country. Johnny. Problems.
Problems is a noun, and there's one more. And there's a clue with the adjective his visit. So visit sounds like it could be a verb, and sometimes it is, by the way. But since we have this adjective in front of it, like whose visit it is, it's a thing, his visit. Okay. So that makes it a noun. Those are tricky though, because they can change depending on the sentence. One pronoun, Lacey, where's the pronoun?
They.
Good. I'm glad you didn't say his, because that is the adjective, by the way. We might as well label that too, because that's telling whose visit it is. So that makes his an adjective. How about the who which clause, William?
Starts at which ends at the end of country.
At the end of country, good. So this is W/W. How about that clause, Lacey?
That to problems.
Yep, good job. And verbs. I'll have you do the verbs, William, and then Lacey can do the subject. So what are the verbs here?
Replied.
Good,
Had.
good,
Prompted.
and prompted. Good. Those are the three. And then who's doing those things, Lacey? So who replied?
Johnny.
Good. And then how about in the that clause? Where's the subject?
They.
Good. And in the which clause?
And the subject be after the verb,
No, not usually.
so it's which.
So it's which. Good job. Yeah, almost 100% of the time, the subject is first before the verb. That's a good rule to remember. Prepositional phrase, William.
To the country.
Good. To the country. And then we've got, what kind of an opener is this, Lacey?
A subject opener.
Good. Which is number what? Do you remember?
One.
Good. One subject. You guys are great. And then capital, that's easy. And then end mark is just a period. Nice. Look at that. That was quick. Good job, you guys. Okay, go ahead and get out. You guys have been working on the moving box. And go ahead and get all that out from your front pocket about the moving box, but I also want you to get out a clean piece of lined paper. So get out a new piece of lined paper because we're going to talk about something before we get into our paper. We're going to talk about something here. And I know this subject that I'm going to talk to you about is not everybody's favorite thing to do, but I'm going to talk about it because it's important. Pretty soon, you guys are going to be taking a state test. Okay. And have you done that before? You're like, yay. Yes, you have. Good. It's called CASP, is what it's called. And it stands for California Assessment of Student Performance and Progress. That's what the acronym stands for. But I want to talk to you about it because it is coming up. Usually it's in April, but some students are starting it sooner than that. William, do you know when you're doing yours?
I already finished mine.
For this year, you already did it? Oh my goodness, that was quick. Have you done it yet, Lacey? Okay. So we're going to, even though you already finished it, William, we're still going to talk about it so you can use these ideas for next time when you take the test. I didn't know that some students are already starting it, but anyway, there are two parts to the test. There's language arts, which means reading and comprehension and writing. Okay. And then there's math, and you guys know the math part. And sometimes you'll be doing science, but I don't think you're doing that yet. Did you do a science test, William? No. Okay. So I think next year you guys might be doing that. Anyway, I'm going to talk to you about the writing part because I'm your writing teacher and I want to help you get ready for that test. So just know that the test itself does not define you as a person and it doesn't define you as a student, meaning it's not going to change your life, okay? It is just something you have to do for the state of California. And however you do on it, if you do great on it, if you do terrible on it, it's not going to affect you moving on to the next grade. Okay. Or it's not going to affect you going to high school later, and it's not going to affect even college later. It is something you have to do. And I do want you to try your best. I know your parents want you to try your best too, but don't stress over it, okay? It is a long test, as you guys probably remember. It's several hours long. And so when you sit down to do the test, since you guys are both Heartland students, or William is Gorman, but you're both virtual. So your test, was yours, William, on the computer at home? Did you do it at home? Yeah, that'll be the way you do it too, Lacey, is and then there's usually a teacher that watches the class take the test just to make sure there's no cheating. I know you guys aren't going to cheat, but if you need a break, you can ask for a break because it's a long test and you might get to a point where you're feeling like tense, you know? So you can ask if it's okay to get up and walk around for a minute, walk around the house, get a drink of water, maybe have a banana or something, you know, just kind of take a little break, not long, and then come back and get back to it. So it's okay to do that. This test is not timed. You can take all the time you need. The time of the actual Zoom call is limited, but if you're not done by the time the Zoom call is done, they'll do another one with you. So it's okay if you don't finish the test, they'll just save it and then you'll start where you left off at the next Zoom call. Okay. Just want to give you a heads up on that. And then you're going to get scratch paper. And did you have scratch paper when you did yours, William? So that's why I had you guys get out the lined paper because we're going to pretend like you're sitting down to take the test and you have all you have with you is a pen or a pencil and scratch paper. And scratch paper we use a lot in math. But I'm going to show you how you can use it for writing when you do the writing test. So you don't need to put your name on here because it's just going to be scratch paper just for you. And that basically means that's what you can use during the test. You can't use any books or you can't go online and find answers because all that would be cheating. They want to know what you can do all by yourself with just you and your brain and a scratch piece of paper and a pen or a pencil. Okay. So for writing on your scratch paper, the first thing you're going to write down, and you can do this too, William, even though I know you've already done the test. Go ahead and just put dress ups at the top of your page. So you're getting ready to take the test, you're sitting down, it's the writing part. Before you even start, you start putting some notes down from your head. And it's legal to do that. You're not going to get in trouble for writing down notes before you start because this is in your head already. Okay. And I want you to make a list of all the dress ups that you use in writing. And I'll tell you the first one is ly adverb. So we can write that one down. And don't look at your checklist, but try to remember what's on there and write down as many as you can remember right now. So I'll give you a minute to do that. Write down as many as you can remember in your head without looking at a checklist. And if you forget some, it's okay. It's just put down as many as you can remember. Okay, I see you thinking. So, did you write down anything other than ly adverb, Lacey? What else did you put down?
I put certainly, carefully, carelessly, and usually.
Oh, okay, good. Those are LYs. So what I really want you to do though is think of the other types of dress ups like we have. So words like who, which, that's also a type of dress up. So not so much listing the actual words, you know what I mean? You're going to list the types of dress ups that you have on your checklist. Does that make sense, Lacey? Okay. What else did you have, William, other than ly adverb and who, which?
Uh, because clause www.asia, which and strong word.
Good. Because clause www.asia and you put strong verb. That's what the list I wanted you to write down, okay, Lacey? Just the things that are on your checklist. Like what we're doing is making your own checklist. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the last one is quality adjective. That's the only other one we have. Okay, and when you sit down to do your test and you write these notes down, if you can only think of 2 or 3 of these types of dress ups, that's okay. Try to think of as many as you can, and then you're going to use these words in your responses on the test. So, and by the way, the test has a lot of questions. Some of the questions are going to be really easy, and you're going to know the answer right away. And then there's going to be some questions on the test that you kind of know, that you can kind of figure out, and you can just put an answer. And then there's going to be some questions on the test that you have no idea. I'm just telling you that that will happen. You're going to find a question on the test that you're just like, I don't even know what this means. I don't know what to do with that. if that happens, and it probably will, I want you to just try to guess your best guess on those and pick an answer and then move on. Because sometimes what happens is students get stuck on one question for a really long time, like an hour on one question. And you don't want that to happen because then the test will just be like too overwhelming for you. So if you get to a question and you have no idea what they're asking, just give it your best guess and move on. Okay. Pick an answer and move on. It's okay to do that. So, but I really want you to try though. So I don't want you to just guess on all of them because some of them you're going to know. Okay. So don't just guess, 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 guess. You don't want to do that. It's only in an emergency. If you come across a question and you're like, I don't even know what this means. I have no idea. Pick one, move on. Okay. Because it's a long test. So part of the writing test, though, some of them are going to say, write 2 or 3 sentences about blank. And they'll tell you what to write about. And that means it's a short answer. So a short answer is going to be only 2 or 3 sentences. It's not really a paragraph, it's just a few sentences. Some of them are going to want you to write a whole paragraph. And there might be one question that says write 3 paragraphs. And don't let that scare you because you guys know how to write 3 paragraphs now. You do it a lot. You even know how to write 5 paragraphs. If they want you to write 5 paragraphs or a full essay, then you know what to do. And it's going to take time, and that's okay. Time is not a problem. You can use the time because you're not going to be canceled or kicked off or anything. You can have all the time that you need. So when you write those paragraphs, that's when this list comes in handy for you. And you can use it as a little checklist and even put check marks by it to make sure you include these words. Go ahead and skip a line, and I want you to put the word openers. And right now we have 3 openers that we use. Do you guys remember what the openers are on your checklist without looking at it, Lacey?
Preposition of phrase,
Good.
ly adverb, and a very short sentence.
Very good. And VSS. I bet William remembered that too. So you'll just make a little list here. And even if you want to put, little boxes next to this, you could, like a little checklist for yourself. That's okay if you want to do that. That can help you remember to include all of those on your paper as you're writing it for the test. Now, the test is all on the computer, so you have to type it. And I know, Lacey, you're not typing very much, so I know you do sometimes. It's okay if you just need to use your pointer fingers when you type. It takes you a while, but that's okay. If you just need to do that, you take your time. Don't worry about it. Do a few sentences, get up, walk around, take a break, come back, do a few more sentences. That's okay. Because you can't submit a handwritten paper for this anymore. You used to be able to, but not anymore. So you have to actually type it. That's okay. You can do that. And these are what you want to include in your paragraphs. And then let's pretend for a second that it says something like, read the article about polar bears and write a paragraph about their habitat. I'm just making this up. I don't think that's really on the test. I'm just making it up. So you would read the article about polar bears, and it says to write 1 paragraph about their habitat. Well, skip a line. Let's make a keyword outline. And we're going to put that word clincher, and we're going to put that word topic, and boom, you know what to do. The Roman numeral is where you put your subject. So you would write, if it's about polar bear, we're not going to write it. This is just for your in your mind. We would put polar bears, comma, habitat, because that's what they want you to write about is their habitat. And that means like where they live and maybe what they eat and what their environment is like. Okay. So then you'd put polar bears, comma, habitat, and then you read the article and you look for interesting facts. You guys know how to do this about the polar bear's habitat, where they live, what they eat, that type of stuff. And then you start making your keyword outline. And then you're going to follow the same rules, just do 3 words, but you can use pictures, you can use numbers, you can use abbreviations, whatever you need to fill this in. And then boom, you got your information. Now you start typing your sentences and you type each one, starting with Roman numeral 1. Polar bears have an interesting habitat. And then you go on to your facts. And then you start typing it in. And then you go, okay, where can I put an ly adverb? Let's see. Polar bears, interestingly, live in blank. So you get the idea. When you sit down to do the writing part of the test with your scratch paper, just write this down like this. If they want 3 paragraphs, well, you would go on and do Roman numeral 2, Roman numeral 3. Use your keyword outline to help you write your paragraphs. So that's all I wanted to talk to you today about that today. Do you guys have any questions about your scratch paper or how you're going to get ready to do the writing part of your state test? You guys have any questions about that? No? You can keep this in your front pocket, and we're going to do a little more practice next week just to get ready. I know, William, you already took it. I think Lacey still needs to do it, and so does Olivia. So we'll talk about it again a little bit next week. But this you can put in your front pocket just to remind yourself of how you're going to set up your scratch paper. Okay. Now, the moving box. Lacey, have you had a chance to write your paragraphs yet? Or where are you in that process?
Um,
Did you guys write? Did you write it? I know William did. He turned it in, but I haven't seen yours yet.
I'm barely finishing the third one.
Oh, good. But you're close, it sounds like. That's good. Okay. So hopefully you can turn it in today sometime or tomorrow, or sometime soon, because the assignment this week is going to be for the introduction and the conclusion of your paper. So you got to have your 3 paragraphs done before you can do that. Okay. Go to this page 155. We're going to focus on this one next. This should be in your front pocket about the moving box. This is page 155. Give me a thumbs up if you have it. Okay, good. Should be in your, okay, good. So I did get to read yours, William, and I really liked yours. I thought you did a great job with it. I put some notes on there. Did you see my notes on Google Classroom? Okay, good. So I'm just going to talk about your topics for as an example. I'm not going to read your paper, but I am going to just talk about the topics you had as an example. Because notice here, this is for the conclusion. See how it says at the top, conclusion. The conclusion is after you finish the body paragraphs, the next step is to write the conclusion. I know you might be thinking, well, what about the introduction? We will, but the conclusion comes before that as far as planning it out. Okay. So, but obviously the conclusion is the last paragraph. So you have your 3 body paragraphs, and now we're going to work on the conclusion. And this is a Roman numeral 5 here, that V. So this is going to be your keyword outline for your conclusion. This time for this template, I'm going to have you write out complete sentences just so that you can have it ready for writing your paragraphs on this page. But you're going to notice it says topic A, topic B, and topic C. And these are the topics of your 3 body paragraphs. That's what that means. So looking at the top of this page here, do you see where it says restate the topics? It says write a sentence or 2 about each topic. Try to convey the main idea of each body paragraph. Highlight or bold the topic key words. So we're going to use this to write the conclusion, and you don't have to do the topic clincher on the conclusion paragraph or the introduction paragraph. The only part you need to highlight is the actual topics of each paragraph. So, for example, William wrote about his moving box had minions inside of it. It was great. I loved your story. It was great. And inside they were looking for bananas, right, William? They're minions inside there and they're looking for bananas. For whatever reason, they have to have bananas, okay? And so they make it into the grocery store, right? And they took bananas from the grocery store and then they had like a big meal of bananas inside the box. Is that right? Okay, I thought it was very creative. So his three topics, his three body paragraphs. The first body paragraph was just about the minions. And then the second body paragraph, and I thought of this, William, you can use this. They had a quest for bananas. That means they had like a mission to find the bananas. They had to find the bananas. They didn't want to go do anything else but find bananas. So I thought that word quest might be good for you to use. And then at the third paragraph of his body paragraphs is about the feast that they had. They got to eat all these bananas and they were inside the box having a big party with bananas. Okay, so for you, William, I'm going to have you get started on this. Each one of these needs a sentence. So for you, and then I'll talk to you in a second, Lacey, but like for you, William, topic A, write a sentence here about the minions in the box. For topic B, write a sentence about their quest for bananas. And then for topic C, you're going to write about their feast that they had with the bananas, okay? And you're going to use those words. You're going to use minions and maybe quest or bananas. And then you're going to use feast in there in those sentences, okay? So you can work on those three sentences while I talk to Lacey. Okay, so for Lacey, tell me about, I know you're working on your third paragraph, but what is your first body paragraph about?
Where it's going.
Okay, so did it show up on your doorstep and then it was going to go somewhere, or how did you start it?
It
You know what I mean?
there's just like a random box and it came out of nowhere, kind of.
Okay, okay,
It did, I didn't really tell it where it came from. It's just
okay,
where it's going.
okay. So random box, and where is it going?
The streets, the stores, the houses, everywhere.
Oh my goodness. And is that in your first body paragraph about all the places it goes? Okay, so let's see. That topic would be, do you have your paragraphs in front of you right now? Okay, what is the first sentence of your first paragraph that you put for your body paragraph?
One day there was a box.
Okay, what's the second sentence?
Nearly enough, the box was moving.
Okay, and the next sentence?
The box was moving everywhere. The streets, the stores, houses, you name it.
I love it. So maybe you could use the word everywhere in this sentence right here because you're talking about where the box went, right? Where it was headed. So try to think of a sentence, just focus on topic A right now. Think of a sentence about telling where the box was headed. That make sense? Okay. And then let me know when you're done with that. And William, did you think of a sentence for topic A yet? What's your sentence for that one?
The minions are very interesting creatures that must have bananas.
Yes. Okay, good. Put a box with your pen or your pencil right now. Put a box around the word minions on that sentence, okay? Because you're going to highlight that when you type it later. Or if you have a highlighter, like an actual highlighter with you, you could highlight that word, minions. There you go. Yeah, just highlight minions. Got it, Lacey? Okay, let me hear your sentence for topic A.
Box is moving everywhere.
The box is moving everywhere. Put a box, a literal box, or highlight the word everywhere. Because that's basically what your first paragraph of your body paragraphs talks about is where they're going everywhere. The streets, the stores, everywhere. Okay. Did you put a box around that word? Okay, good. And then for your second one, tell me, maybe read the first sentence of your second paragraph that you have.
Inside there were animals.
Inside there were animals. Oh my goodness, this is going to be good. What's your second sentence of that paragraph?
Inside there was a cat, a dog, and a bunny.
Oh, cute. Okay, so write a sentence here for topic B about, and use the word animals here. Okay, and try to think of a different sentence. Don't use the same sentence you put in your paragraph, but try to think of another sentence you could use here with the word animals. Like maybe, what were the animals doing inside the box, by the way?
They were traveling
Just
and
traveling around.
yeah, and trying to get an owner or find one.
Oh, okay. And is that what you talked about in your third paragraph? Trying to find an owner? Or what is
I,
your third paragraph about?
it's kind of about the owner finding them instead of them finding the owner.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. Yeah, so your topic B should be something like the animals inside were scrambling around or something they were doing inside. Like maybe were they playing? Were they sleeping? What were they? I know they're looking for their owners, but maybe they were, oh, they could be planning. The animals inside were planning a way to find new homes or something like that. Okay. Is that what they were doing in there? Kind of. Okay. Whatever you think. Go ahead and work on topic B, the sentence here. Just make sure you use the word animals in that sentence. Okay. And then, William, what did you put for B?
The minions started a quest in Walmart to get bananas.
Yes, good. I think rather than started, because this is going to be your conclusion, take out started and just say the animals made a quest. I think is how you said it to find bananas. We'll use that word started at the beginning because that makes more sense to use that word later, or I mean at the beginning. And then work on C, or did you already do C, William, too? Okay. C is going to be about the feast. Oh, yeah. And use your highlighter to highlight quest or bananas, or maybe both. How about you highlight both quest and bananas in that sentence? Okay. What'd you get, Lacey, for the B?
The animals were on an adventure.
I love it. Perfect. Highlight or put a box around animals on that one, okay? So you're both working on C. So for you, Lacey, you're gonna try to come up with a sentence about how the owners, yeah, I liked how you said that. They were on an adventure. You could put something like they were searching for owners, but the owners found them instead, or something like that for your last, for C. Okay, William, looks like you got yours done for C. What did you put for that one?
After the minions stole the bananas, they had a giant feast.
I like it. And highlight feast. Okay, when you got it, Lacey, let me know. Okay. Do you want to read yours? What did you put for C, Lacey?
Instead of the animals finding the owner found them.
Good. So put a box around one of the word owners or found, whatever your keyword is for your third paragraph. Okay. Probably owner, maybe. I don't know because I haven't seen your paragraph yet, but the next part of the conclusion is the most significant. And it tells us what to do right here on this page up here where it says most significant and why. What is the most important? That's another word for significant is important. So what is the most important, most interesting, or most significant thing to remember about what you wrote and why? You may choose one of your topics, one of these A, B, or C, to tell why it is the most important, or you may choose something that tells the importance of the entire subject, which the subject, remember, is the moving box. That's the subject. And then your topics are different things. Like William wrote about the minions, and Lacey, you wrote about the animals and their experience. So think about what you think is the most important. What's the thing that stands out to you the most? Maybe for the animals, it was the adventure they were on. Or maybe for the minions, it was their quest, like how they figured out how to get to the store and steal the bananas. So think about what the most significant thing is. And then I want you to write this on that line. I know it already says most significant, but I want you to write a sentence here. The most significant thing about, and then blank. This one's going to be about whatever part you want to tell is the most significant thing about your paper. And then I want you to use the word because and then blank. And you can use all these lines if you need to, okay? The most significant thing about, you can either mention something about the minions. It's like the most important thing to know about them, or about the animals for you, Lacey. So what is the most important thing? And I like how yours ended up being like almost like a rescue for the animals. They ended up finding a home, or the owner found them. So that to me in your paper might be the most significant thing, is that they were united, or they were in a happy home forever and ever, or something like that. They were found, and it's a good thing. Just trying to throw out ideas. And then for you, it looks like you're both writing, so I'll give you a minute to write that down. Whatever you think the most important part is. Did you write your sentence, William? Okay, what did you put? Oh, hold on, I can't hear you yet. You're still muted.
The most significant thing about the minions is the quest to steal the bananas, because minions need to have an excellent plan for something to work.
I like it. That is excellent. I really like that. That's a good one. It looks like Lacey's still working on hers, so keep going on yours. We're running out of time though, so I want to talk to you about the introduction next. So just remember when you guys are writing, I know you have a box or you highlighted some words on here somewhere for your three topics. When you go to type this, do not do topic clincher for this one, for either the conclusion or the introduction. You don't need to do topic clincher. You're only going to highlight or bold these three topics. Okay? So don't worry about the topic clincher because you're going to end on this note. This is going to be the last sentence is talking about the most significant thing and why. So you don't need to do the topic clincher, but you do need to make sure to highlight these three. Did you get that one done, Lacey? Are you still working on it?
I'm still trying to think of it.
Okay. So we'll come back to that in a minute. So go ahead and just turn it over to the introduction side though, because I want to make sure you get this one ready for you to write. For the introduction, you have what's called an attention getter. That's the beginning of the first paragraph. So that is going to be either, it says right here, start your introduction with a sentence that encourages your reader to continue reading. Begin with a question, a fact or statistic, or a very short sentence, VSS. So if you can think of a question, um, like, have you ever heard of a box that moves all by itself or something like that? You can start with a question, or you could say something like a fact or statistic about minions. You could say something like minions have been known to be very sarcastic and uh, mischievous, something like that. Something about minions based on the movies, you know. So it's up to you how you want to start your very first sentence, but you can make it something about the fact that the box is moving. It could be a VSS. It could be a very short sentence. It could be the box is moving, exclamation point. The box is moving. That's 4 words. So you could use that if you like that idea. Or what in the world? Like something like when somebody reads it, they'll go, what are they talking about? What is happening here? And they want to read more. That's the whole point of the attention getter. Okay. So think for a minute. You have an idea, Lacey?
Why is the box moving?
Why is the box moving? Why is the box moving? There you go. Perfect. Write that down. Why is the box moving? Do you have one, William, that you want to say? I still can't hear you for whatever reason. There we go.
Minions are very mischievous creatures
I like that.
that live in Walmart vents.
So it doesn't have to be a VSS. Hers is a VSS, but yours doesn't have to be. I like that. That live in the Walmart bins. Is that what you said? Yes, it's perfect. Write that down so you don't forget it. Right here next to attention getter. Minions are very mischievous creatures that live in a Walmart bin. This is going to be good. I can't wait. While you're writing that down, William, the next part is the background. So it says, tell your reader what the subject of the composition is about by making a general statement about the subject, like the fact that the box is moving. Then provide background information you think would be interesting or important. The background information should flow into the introduction of the topics. So this is where you can explain where the box came from. You make it up, did it suddenly just appear on your front porch? Um, did you suddenly just find it at Walmart? Like where is it? Like how did you find it? Give a little about 2 sentences here about how you found the box. Did it just come down on a parachute down to your front lawn, maybe? All of a sudden you saw it floating down and it landed softly on the lawn. Could it be that the UPS driver delivered it? Or could it be that it just had feet that walked over to you and plopped down in front of you? I don't know. You can make up whatever. Yeah, it just walked over. So think of how you found the box and how it came to you. That's what you're going to put here for the background. And then you're going to restate right here, topic A, B, and C. It's just like what you guys wrote here, but change the sentence a little bit. So it's not exactly the same, but you're going to change it up a little bit, but you're still going to highlight those 3 main topic words for your 3 paragraphs that you had for your body paragraphs, okay? So that's what you're going to do for your homework. You're going to finish up writing about the background. This is going to be how the box got there. And then you're going to talk about each topic again, like you did for the conclusion, but word it a little bit different so it's not exactly the same as the conclusion. This is your introduction, okay? And then when you're done filling all this out, you're going to start typing or writing your introduction paragraph and your conclusion paragraph. And notice on the checklist, you still need to include, because you have 1 and 5 here, you still need to include all of your dress ups and your openers in the introduction and the conclusion. Up here, you'll notice you just want the topics highlighted or bolded, not the topic clinchers. That's only for the body paragraphs. Okay. So I know we had to kind of go fast at the end there, but your homework is to finish this. Make sure you finish making your plan and then write your paragraphs. Okay. You guys have any questions before you go about what you're going to do? You're going to give background means like how you found the box or how it appeared. And then you're going to tell the 3 things that you used on your conclusion. You're going to write them again here in a little bit different way. Okay. And then write those 2 paragraphs. All right, you guys, that's it for today. If you have any questions, though, you can stay on for a minute. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Bye, William. Did you have a question, Lacey, or are you good?